Could you start off with telling us if you have any injuries or knocks coming up on that game, please?
Yeah, plenty of knocks, but no injuries. One of the good things is we made a few tactical substitutions, but none of them were really injury-induced. But there's some pretty tired bodies here. I think they made 190 tackles, we made 135. That suggests that there was a fair bit of collision stuff out there, and it was very hard work post-tackle as well.
Joe, your spoke about that anything to do with how close that was at times out there?
No, it was in the warm-up. Because the stadium is so loud, I was just calling a change, and it's a regular change that we do in the warm-up to change the width of our passing, and I called it out. Suddenly I had no voice left. So, yeah, it was of great relief for the players.
What's your assessment of what went before us?
Yeah, I have a sense it was a bit of a one-score game. It was a 20-point result in a one-score game because they really probably butchered a couple of really good chances. I think the line breaks, I think we made twice as many line breaks as they did, so I don't think the result should tip the other way, but I do think they were very close to getting right away a couple of times. Obviously getting the intercept, it was something that we had looked at and we did feel was an opportunity, so it wasn't suddenly something that sprang out. Jacob knew if he tucked and waited that they might throw that long ball as they did last week, and Hugh Jones picked it up, but Jonathan Joseph could potentially have done the same thing.
What's your assessment of the Irish performance? Who would you call out as having played particularly well, or just as a collective, what pleased you most?
Yeah, I think there were a couple of players who worked incredibly hard. I think James Ryan was immense again. I think he made 13 tackles and had 13 ball carries. CJ Stander had 12 tackles and 12 ball carries. Gary Ringrose, I think he had 90 running metres, 11 tackles, covered the ground incredibly well for a guy who's probably not up to full fitness yet, but I thought he was super. Rob Carney, obviously, I think he had 140 running metres with the ball. That's exceptional in any game. And early in the game, I thought he did really well contesting the high ball. He almost got away to create that score at one stage, but on the back of that, we created the score with a little set play which worked out really well. So, yeah, I think the scrum was really solid. I did feel that they came round on the axis a little bit, which made that a little bit difficult. We got some good line-out defence in. I think we got maybe 3 or 4 of theirs, but we lost one of ours 5 metres out, and that first 10 minutes was a real frustration to be 3-0 down. It was a bit like Wales, where in that first 20 minutes we're 13-5 down, but we've played some really good stuff, and I think we've got to make sure that we're accumulating points when we are in strong positions.
Joe, Rory, you've spoken about how the play had become slightly disjointed after replacements come on. That didn't happen today. What did you work on in the last 2 weeks to make that there?
I think one of the things is we try to balance our replacements a little bit. I think part of that was the selection of Ian Henderson in there. Jack McGrath, he knows what he's doing in the group. Sean Cronin. I thought Geordie Murphy was outstanding off the bench. I thought he carried really well. Was very good at trying to get himself organised defensively and stay connected up. So there was a number of really good performers off the bench. That seamlessness is what we'd like to get. Unfortunately, it just doesn't happen like that all the time.
Joe, you're forward on for the championship. How motivated are you in this squad to make it 5 and 0?
I think there's definite motivation there. Rory spoke to the players briefly after the match, just to look after themselves. And at this stage of the championship, you're always a little bit fatigued. There's, as I said, no injuries, but there's certainly bumps and bruises. I think the skipper here's got a bit of running repairs under his chin there with a few stitches, and there's those sort of accumulated niggles that do make the last week of the championship a fairly testing one anyway. So I'd say we're just keen to try to get everyone fit to train Monday, Tuesday, and then we'll head off to England Thursday evening and try to see what we can do over there.
Rory, can you tell us can you describe what kind of occasion St Patrick's Day in Twickenham is going to be?
Yeah, look, it's going to be a big game for us now. I know we say they're all big games, but whenever you put yourselves in a position to win everything effectively in this Six Nations, this great championship, it becomes massive. And the key for us at the same time is to make sure that we approach it as we do every game. And I think the beauty of this squad is that, you know, we never get too far ahead of ourselves, and people get bored with us saying all championship, that it's one game at a time, and that's the mentality we've had, and we've chipped off each game as it's come, and we got another 5 points tonight, and we've set ourselves up for a big week. But look, it becomes a big game for us because of what we've done previously, so we have to stick to that and know that throughout this championship we've tried to improve our performances week on week or game on game, and it's going to have to be the same again. We're going to have to probably, want of a cliche, save the best for last, and that's what it's going to take to win everything next week.
And what would it mean to you, captain Ireland, to a Grand Slam?
Look, it'd obviously be special. I think it'd be special for every member of the entire 30 whatever we've had in camp at various times over, because like it is a squad thing, and Joe touched on the guys coming off the bench and the impact they made, and like that's what it's been all about right throughout, and it'll be no different next week. There will come moments next week when we'll need to dig deep, and I suppose I'm the one lucky enough to be captain, but we have a lot of big leaders in that squad, and it shows at times. If you look at tonight, it showed at big times when we were under pressure and they were trying to play chaotic, uncontrolled rugby. We were able to almost to get a breath and get control back, and that is because the spine of the team is very important to us, and they're very big leaders.